Hello guys, it is Gative Theories here, and we are back talking about Riverdale because this season just keeps us giving us loads and loads of teasers and hints, and we just gotta look into it and see what the show might give us very soon. So the most recent episode of Riverdale had a scene at the end flash forwarding to the finale of the season, like it has been doing throughout this season. However, this time it was way more extreme. Not only does it show Jughead dead, but that Betty also apparently killed him. Now, you can take this how you want, whether it is believable that Jughead does die and that Betty murdered him, because this could be a classic time where Riverdale is hinting at something but then tricks us in the end, and it's got nothing to do with what actually happens. And to be honest, would Riverdale risk killing probably one of, or even maybe their most popular character, Jughead? Who knows, but I discussed in another video about whether the rumours of Jughead's death might be true or not, and if so, how he dies. You can go and check it out by clicking the card, or there'll be a link in the description down below. However, today, let's forget all about that and let's discuss the end of last week's episode, giving us Jughead lying on the floor, supposedly dead, and Archie saying to Betty, "What have you done?" So today, we're going to assume all of this is true, and that the show isn't tricking us, and wondering how and why Betty would have killed her lover, Jughead. But before we go any further, if you haven't already, make sure that you click that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you don't miss any more Riverdale videos. Now, recently in Riverdale, it's been discussing Betty's anger issues towards others and herself, whether it be the serial killer gene that she thought she'd inherited, being able to know which one of the three is a serial killer in the FBI trials, even having her father be in the Black Hood, as well as Edgar being able to unlock what is known as Dark Betty. They're all things that seem to hint towards Betty turning dark and attacking. However, they all seem to relate to one scene that keeps on appearing. Ever since Edgar unlocked Dark Betty, we've learned something about her past. Just one moment where she chooses to go outside and kill her cat with a stone. Looking at this memory can trigger many situations for Betty, but most likely triggers hate and anger, or as Edgar would call it, Dark Betty. A Betty who isn't like her normal self, but is like her father. So, could it have been that Dark Betty killed Jughead? Now, Edgar unlocked Dark Betty, but only to the point where the real Betty could still see herself. However, in the most recent episode, Edgar's wife/daughter, Evelyn, might have given the answer to us. In the most recent episode, Polly and Miss Cooper have both received phone calls from Evelyn with the power to hypnotize them to want to kill Betty. So much so that Miss Cooper even gets a knife out and tries to stab her own daughter. Later on in the episode, Charles and Betty see whether this means Betty is self-destructive, and if she gets hypnotized, would she try to kill herself. They try it by saying the keyword tangerine, but she doesn't have the power to kill herself. However, when she does this, she's transported back to that one memory of her past self wanting to kill her cat. Does this mean that by doing this, Betty could have unlocked Dark Betty, but just didn't try anything because Charles would have stopped her? What would have happened if she was alone and Charles wasn't there to stop her? Well, maybe that's what happened in this flash forward scene. Betty is hypnotized by Evelyn or someone else, but doesn't have someone to protect her, so she goes and kills someone. Now, this hypnotizement is meant to make you want to kill Betty, but since we've seen that when Betty is hypnotized, she doesn't want to kill herself, so what would she do? Now, it's very likely, instead of killing Betty, it forces you to kill someone that, in doing so, will kill Betty anyway. Now, this can be such as killing the person Betty loves the most. For example, Jughead Jones. If she kills Jughead, then when she wakes up, she'll be so horrified at what she's done, she'll practically be killing herself with grief and horror at her own self and what she has done. We even see this when Archie asks Betty what she did, and you can see she clearly is horrified at what she's done and doesn't believe that she has actually done it. Most likely because she can't remember herself being hypnotized, just like how Polly and Miss Cooper couldn't remember either. And finally, we know the hypnotize unlocks Dark Betty, and we know unlocking Dark Betty transports Betty to remembering when she killed her cat, which sort of creates like some bad memories for her and wants her to get really angry. Now in the flash forward scene, we see Betty holding something, most likely the weapon she used to kill Jughead. Now it's very dark and really hard to see, but if we light up the image slightly, it becomes clearer that the item looks most like a rock or a stone. the exact same type of weapon she also used to kill the cat that she'd have been thinking about when she killed Jughead. So guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, then make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell us in the field section down below what you think of this theory. Do you think that these flash forwarding scenes means that Betty might have actually killed Jughead, or do you think that it's just the show trying to trick us? Make sure you leave all your thoughts down there. And do you agree with me? Do you think that when Dark Betty is unlocked, that it can be unlocked by this hypnotic power that Evelyn has, and that it will transport her to this dark memory? And do you agree that this dark memory might trigger anger, and that she might want to start attacking people that she loves, even someone like Jughead? And also, do you think that the weapon that she's carrying might be a rock similar to the rock that she used to kill the cat? Do you think that her killing the cat basically is sort of the same as her killing Jughead? It's just different ages? Make sure that you leave all your thoughts about what you think Betty might have done in the field section down below. And also, while you're down there, why don't you say any more Riverdale theories that you've got, and if you're excited for the Riverdale finale coming up very soon, because it feels like we're getting this whole teaser thing, and we're getting lots of teasers towards the spring break thing happening where Jughead might die. And judging by what that flash forwarding thing said last week's episode, it said 4 weeks. So maybe it's in 4 weeks' time, guys. We might be really, really close. Make sure that you leave all your thoughts down below. And as always, we've been here at Gator Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.